Right, now. Good morning and welcome to the first day of National Apprenticeship Week 2022. You are joining our first session as part of the Meet Your Future campaign, and throughout this week we'll be hosting a series of live sessions that will provide young people information on apprenticeships. Our first speaker for this week is Ed Stevens from the RAF, and Ed will be talking to you about the opportunities within the Royal Air Force. Ed, over to you.
Perfect, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, morning everyone. Like as I was introduced, Ed Stevens from the Royal Air Force. I've been in the Royal Air Force for coming up on 20 years actually, which sounds like a really long time, but I wouldn't have stuck around if it wasn't a good career and it wasn't a good environment to work in. So a little bit about myself. So I joined the Royal Air Force initially to fly. That's what I wanted to do. It's all I wanted to do. That didn't work out for a number of reasons, but mainly a hearing issue. And I went down the logistics route, so became a logistics officer. So that's seen me operate all over the world. On exercises, on operations in places that are very hot, in places that are very cold. I've had a number of different exciting jobs within the RAF, ranging from my first role as a logistics officer, looking after 120 drivers, running all the airside transport, right through to working on quite small bespoke project teams, delivering equipment to the Eurofighter Typhoon, through to recruiting and other stuff in between. So it's been quite a diverse, exciting career. I've had the opportunity not only to travel with work, but also travel with sport. So I represented the RAF at snowboarding and mountain biking, and at the height of my kind of career within the snowboarding world, I was doing kind of 8 weeks a year away snowboarding with a team, which was fantastic. It was all paid for by work. I've got a master's level degree qualification out of my time within the Royal Air Force. I've made some fantastic friends. And it's just been awesome. So this isn't me saying you've got to join the Royal Air Force, it's just giving you an option. So obviously in Apprenticeship Week, you want to know about the types of apprenticeships that are available to you as young people that you can do in the RAF. Well, the RAF has over 23 different types of apprenticeships available, and they range. Everyone thinks all the RAF do is fly, and when we go to careers events, or if I was able to interact with you now, there'd probably be a few of you that say, oh, I don't like flying, the RAF's not for me, I don't like flying. Actually, less than 5% of the Royal Air Force fly aircraft, are actively involved in flying planes. The rest of the jobs are all the support roles, and many of those roles that you can do are apprenticeship style jobs. Like I say, 23 jobs are available as apprenticeships. So we've got everything from catering and chefing through to driving, engineering roles, operational roles, medical roles, administrative roles, and within all of those different jobs, force protection, police, fire, RAF regiment, all of those roles are classed as apprenticeships that you could technically do at the age of 16 when you leave school. The earliest you can make an application for one of our jobs is 15 and 9 months. You might look at it as an alternative to going to college. So our apprenticeship levels range from anywhere from a level 3, level 2 and level 3, level 3 being kind of your A-level BTEC equivalent, with the potential of going right up to kind of, not initially, but in your career right up to level 7, which is kind of degree master's level, apprenticeship level, sorry, not apprenticeship level, but a level throughout your career. So there's the opportunity there to join as a trade where you're going to be hands-on, learning a skill in a trade. And it's really important to note that you don't need that experience. There's only 5 jobs where, although they're not apprenticeship jobs, where you'd require to go to degree and get specific qualifications. That's doctors, dentists, lawyers, engineering officers, and nursing. The vast majority of the rest of the jobs in the Royal Air Force don't require you to have any experience as such. And what we will want from you though is, if you were thinking about a career in the Royal Air Force, is for you to be enthusiastic, for you to be willing to learn, to be keen, all the stuff that any good employer would want from you, because we're going to pay you well. You know, within the first year of joining the RAF as an apprenticeship, and it could be as a chef, as a driver, as a technician, you're going to be earning around £17,800 a year. And that's not a bad wage for a 16, 17, 18-year-old to be joining up and earning. As well as that, you're going to get subsidised food, subsidised accommodation, free medical, free dental, non-contributory pension. You've probably not even thought about pensions, but I'm sure there's some teachers listening, and they'll nod sagely in a second. My wife's a teacher, and quite a big chunk of my wife's wage, teacher's wage, for example, or many other professions, is absorbed as part of your pension payment. In 20 years, I've not paid anything into a pension pot. The MOD's paid it, so that's a really good factor. So we work it out as the money that you don't see, with all the subsidised food, accommodation, all etc., is probably worth about £10,000 a year as well. Notwithstanding the wage side, which is fantastic, you've got the opportunity to get involved in sport and adventurous training. Every person in the RAF is entitled to 2 weeks a year adventurous training. That helps build stuff like teamwork, leadership, communication, and turns you into a better serviceman, servicewoman, and enables you to do your job. But if you're good at a sport, for example, it could be netball, cricket, hockey, mountain biking, skiing, whatever it might be, you can do that at a representative level as well, and possibly get involved in sport. In terms of the roles themselves, like I said, there's 23 different roles, all vary with the qualifications that are required. Some require no GCSEs, some require you to get 9 to 5s in maths, English and science. Some require just a basic pass in maths, English and science, and I'd urge you just to have a look on the website to see the different jobs and then see the specifics, because I can't go through all 23 at this the limited time that we've got. What else do you need to know? Yes, so there's obviously, and the 23 different apprenticeship roles will be varying levels. So, for example, the unqualified chef might be a level 2 apprenticeship, whereas the level some of the engineering ones might maybe a higher level and require slightly higher qualifications to get in at. There's the opportunity to progress. Obviously, once you're in, you're continually learning. You're continually progressing. You're probably aware the military has a rank structure. So you work hard, you perform well, you move up that structure, and with that, obviously, your wages go up as well. And obviously your responsibility. So we've covered what we covered. We've covered the different types of roles. We've covered the benefits, the opportunities. One thing I must kind of stress to you is we are a military organisation, and irrelevant of your job, you would be expected, if the need arose, to be deployed. I'm assuming, I'm sure I'm talking to only people from the Northwest here. We don't have many bases around the Northwest, so you would need to move away from your home area. So if you're in Manchester or Liverpool, for example, there's no bases around there, so you'd have to move away for training, you'd have to move away for your actual role, and you generally move around every 2 to 3 years. Involved in that will be deployments, either on exercise. That could mean going to America, it could mean going to places in Europe on exercise, or it could mean getting deployed. And when I was talking about deployed, I'm talking about that's the kind of thing that the military are trained to do, where we go to war effectively, or we're on peacekeeping operations or humanitarian operations. And irrelevant of your trade, there's a chance that you will get deployed on operations to do your specific role, whether that's catering or driving, flying aircraft, fixing aircraft, in an operational theatre. So that's certainly something to bear in mind. And we're a 365-day a year, 7-day a week organisation. You will get time off. You get 36 days paid leave. You generally will get weekends off, but there may be occasions where you might miss birthdays, spouses, birthdays, New Year's and Christmases. There's always that possibility. So that's something to bear in mind. I think as a whistle-stop tour, that kind of does cover everything. Hopefully there'll be some good questions which will bring out some more points. So please, if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thanks, Ed. That was That was super informative and an effective whistle-stop tour. So we have had a couple of questions in
Brilliant.
so far. The first one being from Eden Boys Leadership Academy in Manchester. What are the minimum requirements at GCSE?
Okay, so as I said there are some jobs that don't require. So if you wanted to be an RAF regiment gunner, for example, which is the effect similar to the Army's infantry, air-minded infantry, you don't require any formal qualifications. Whereas if you want to be an aircraft technician, you're going to require maths, English, and science at grade 9 to 5. Obviously, with there being 23 different apprenticeships, as I said in the presentation, I'd urge you to just go on the website and it will say specifically what qualifications you need. Hopefully that's not me dodging the question, it's just with there being so many different jobs, we'd be here all morning talking about the different qualifications you require for each. Hopefully that answers your question.
Thanks, Ed. So we have had another one, which is more just a general question to you. Where is the most interesting place you have got to visit?
Right, okay, so I've been to some. I mean, it probably comes down to either the Falklands, which is down in the South Atlantic, down near Chile, which was pretty cool because I got to, not only was I, I was down there working, but at the same time you get these odd days off, and I got to fly round the Falkland Islands in the back of a Hercules, and probably none of you will know who this woman is, but Ella MacArthur was a lady that was, Dame Ella MacArthur was sailing around the world like on a solo catamaran. We got to fly over her, which was pretty cool. Check her out, look it up on the internet. But also got to see like penguins and whales and sea lions and stuff, and just get dropped off on an island. That was pretty cool. Not the kind of stuff you'd get to do in a normal kind of 9 to 5 job in Manchester or Lancashire or somewhere. So yeah, I'd probably say that's probably one of the most memorable things. And
a subsequent question to that, how many countries have you visited?
Wow, okay. Let me just top them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd say about 8 different countries. Yeah,
it's good going. Work has never taken me out of Greater Manchester.
That's just with work. That's just with work.
So what can students be doing now to improve their chances of being accepted to the RAF? I'm assuming that's a school age young person.
Yeah, okay, so if you're looking at, I mean, for anyone, so basically what I always tell people is your qualifications, the better your qualifications are, obviously the more doors, the more options are open to you. So obviously the first one is, and I'm sure your teachers are telling you, is work hard at school, get the best qualifications you can, because that gives you the access to more doors. From there though, from the RAF, we still get a lot of people at every level that come in with fantastic qualifications but don't necessarily have the right attitude or the right enthusiasm for the RAF. So we will turn people with fantastic qualifications away in favour of people who might have more average qualifications but are far more enthusiastic, that know a little bit about the RAF. So if you are keen on the RAF, look, find out about us. We've got all the social media channels are covered. So if you're on those, check out the RAF. And there's various updates. Look at our websites, just know about what's happening in the RAF, make sure it's for you, because if you come to an interview with us and you're dead enthusiastic, you know what you're talking about, we can just tell that you're keen on the RAF. Sometimes that makes up for not necessarily having straight A's or straight 9s. Yes, 9s, isn't it? Not 5s, but you know what I'm saying. And just be keen, find out as much as you can about the trade or the branch you're wanting to apply for, as well as the RAF as a whole, and that would give you the best chance. If you're hoping to go into any roles that have any kind of leadership, and some of them do, get as much experience of kind of leading or managing people. At school, it could be teamwork, it could be leading a project at school, an assembly, a charity event, it could be in your part-time job, it could be in the cadets or something like that. But just do as much as you can, and that'll give you the best chance of being successful with the RAF.
We have had so many questions. If you've got the time, should we squeeze a couple in and then finish at 10?
I'm in no rush.
I'm going to reword this one a little bit. So if you join as apprentice, can you move over to join the army or other armed forces?
You can do. I'm not sure why you would, because you can join. I mean, I don't say that tongue in cheek. I'm not sure why you'd want to join the RAF and then move to the Army or the Navy, because they offer apprenticeships as well. You've got to choose the organisation that's right for you, because part of our recruitment process is checking that you are committed and that you are gonna. We're going to invest a lot of money in your training. Not only are we going to pay you a good wage, but to train you as an apprentice, even as a chef, not even as a chef, but as a chef, it's going to cost £150,000 by the time we've paid your wages and done the training and got you through the process. I mean, it costs £6 million to train a pilot. So when we're talking those kind of numbers, we're wanting to make sure that you're in it for the long run, if that makes sense. So if someone's just going to join us and then think, oh, I'm going to join the Army, they're probably not the right person for us. If you're keen on the Army and the Navy, I'd suggest looking at them as well, because they offer apprenticeships too.
Brill. And is there an apprenticeship for officers?
At the moment, we don't do degree level apprenticeships. You can get degrees when you're in, but if you wanted to join as an officer, you would require 5 GCSEs, Maths, English and Science, grade 9 to 5, as well as 2 A-levels or equivalent, equating to 64 UCAS points. And then you could join as an officer. There is the opportunity then to, if you've not got a degree, to get a degree while you're in the service. As I said before, the only jobs you'd require a degree for are doctors, dentists, lawyers, engineering officer and nursing. Otherwise, if you wanted to join as an officer, it's 2 A-levels, 5 GCSEs and some leadership qualities.
Brill. And then I'll finish on this question. What are the top 3 skills that are essential in the RAF?
Enthusiasm, teamwork and communication. And if you're going for leadership, I'll throw leadership in there as a 4th one if you're wanting to go for any kind of officer roles off the bat.
Brilliant. I'd just like to thank everybody for joining this morning. We do have a whole host of sessions that are running throughout the week, and thank you to everyone that was proactive with asking questions, and also a massive thanks to Ed for joining us and presenting this morning. Have a good rest of the day. Bye.
All I'd say, sorry, thank you, is just check out the website if you want any more info.
Brilliant.